Imagine this. It's 2011 and your parents have just gotten you an iPod Touch for your birthday. The possibilities you now have are immense, and it's hard for you to decide what you want to do first. Then it hits you. You go into the App Store and start downloading a fuckload of games. Games like Fruit Ninja, Jetpack Joyride, Cut the Rope, Flappy Bird, Bejeweled, and of course Angry Birds all absolutely kicked ass back in the day, being arcade-styled high-score games that were very easy to pick up for a couple of rounds and then put back down. These games define the App Store and still get hundreds of thousands of downloads every day. And with this incredible success came lots of strange monetary ventures. Lots of mobile game classics got ports to some of the weirdest platforms, and that's what I'm going to take a look at today. Let's get started. Let's start with something a bit tame. Jetpack Joyride, released in 2011 by Half-Brick Studios, is a score-based runner game where you avoid all sorts of obstacles while collecting coins and attempting to go as far as possible. Its addictive yet simple one-finger gameplay made it a prime target for porting. Sony decided to nab a few ports of the game for themselves, releasing versions for the PS3, Vita, and PlayStation Portable. I'm going to be looking at the PSP version, as the Vita and PS3 versions are near perfect recreations of the mobile game. And while I wasn't expecting too much from this version, I was pleasantly surprised to see a damn solid port of the classic on the PSP. From the start, it has just about everything a Jetpack Joyride game needs. A ton of scientists, bumping music, absurd amounts of floating currency, and lots of very fatal obstacles. The graphics are on point, with only a few minor graphical flourishes not making the jump, like the broken glass effect shown here. Most sound effects sound weirdly downsampled though. In summary, the Joyride port to PSP is incredibly solid, much to my surprise. The gameplay is on point, and it's a classic game of Jetpack Joyride. There's not a lot to complain about here. Let's jump from Half-Brick to PopCap and discuss some Bejeweled. Bejeweled, while not initially a mobile game, definitely has its legacy in the App Store, being the pioneer of the match-3 puzzler genre that still controls the App Store to this day. Bejeweled's incredibly simple gameplay lent itself well to ports on nearly every platform imaginable, from the Palm PDAs, to the DS, to even the iPod. Remember when iPods could have games loaded onto them? We're going to take a look at Bejeweled 3's port to the DS today. Released in 2011, the DS port of Bejeweled 3 is absolutely one of the most impressively accurate ports of a game I've ever played on a DS. Nearly everything is nailed to a near perfect degree. The gameplay is solid and makes perfect sense on the DS with its touchscreen. The music is somehow ported in its entirety, with remixes that sound basically identical to the versions in PC and console versions of the game. And the graphics, while definitely lower res, are most definitely Bejeweled. Overall, this port is absolutely spectacular, and is honestly one of the best ways to play Bejeweled 3. If you have no other option, it's fully worth it. Now, I'd be doing everyone a disservice if I didn't at least mention Angry Birds in this video. Angry Birds, released in 2009 on the App Store, absolutely demolished the sales charts, and has been downloaded more than 4 billion times since. The game has a simple yet addictive formula which translates pretty well to ports. So of course it got a PSP version. What are you, stupid? And while you probably expect a PlayStation Portable version of Angry Birds to be absolutely garbage, I was genuinely surprised to see that the game controls pretty decent. Controlled with the PSP's analog stick, you fling birds at pigs pretty much as well as you could with touch on other platforms. The game has all of the initial content from the mobile game, and it nails the graphics and sound. Honestly, the controls aren't the most elegant thing in the world, but they definitely work. This is a perfectly fine version of Angry Birds. Let's finish this video out with some Fruit Ninja. Fruit Ninja tends to lean more towards experimental takes on its formula, and it doesn't take a genius to tell as such. We're going to focus on 2 ports here, Fruit Ninja Connect for the Xbox 360, and Fruit Ninja VR on PlayStation VR, Steam, and the Oculus Quest. Fruit Ninja Connect actually nearly made me buy a Connect back when it released, and having looked at lots of gameplay since, I think I was better off not bothering. It's incredibly janky, registering just about any slightly fast movement of your arm as a sword slash, and is overall very, very, very annoying to play. Fruit Ninja VR fixes this by effectively giving you a sword in your hands. This gives you a way to gauge if your slash will land, thus making it a far more enjoyable experience. Both games have classic arcade and zen modes like the mobile version, but in my personal opinion, nothing can beat the classic touch gameplay of Fruit Ninja. Mobile gaming was bigger than it ever has or will be back in the mid-2010s, and these ports are absolute proof of that. All of them were unnecessary and attempted to fill niches that really weren't needing filling, and yet somehow these kinds of ports are still remembered fondly by lots of people. Nowadays, instead of a unique port of a game with noticeable and fun differences, developers instead just opt to carbon copy the mobile game onto other platforms. And while that is perfectly fine, I feel like a lot of the magic that comes from a port or re-release is gone when this route is taken. Instead of feeling like a special new version of the game, it just feels like a mobile game thrown onto another platform to try to run away with as much cash as possible. I really do miss the days of classic mobile gaming only costing you $1 for infinite fun. But these ports forever remain as proof that some classics stay gold, no matter how monetized they can get.